had no idea how small time I was until I met you.
Penny, why are women better suited to the con than men?
Because we're used to faking it.
The Hustle stars Rebel Wilson and Anne Hathaway, and it's a remake of Dirty Rotten Scoundrels, in which women are con artists and they're trying to con a man into winning a bet, and, you know, madness ensues because it's a hilarious PG-13 comedy / M, because I'm Australian, so it's really just M, but I've been so in-depth in culture that it's PG-13. Anyway, onwards! Starting off with the comedy in a comedy movie. Now, I'll ask you this question. If no one laughs in the comedy, is it still a comedy? It's a question as old as film itself. And the answer to that is, yes, it's still, because they're still trying to make jokes, and it's obvious they're trying to make jokes, but they're just really, really unfunny. In fact, this movie is so unfunny that there is a scene in which it made me nearly vomit. And I don't mean by like, oh, you know, that's just a hyperbole. I'm talking about I had to avert my eyes from the screen for a solid minute whilst I gagged for a solid minute. You do not know how annoying that is in a dark room with a bunch of strangers around you to just gag for a solid minute. That it makes you think that, make you feel even more disgusted. I feel like I was seriously going to throw up in this movie. That's just, you know, one of the first things why I don't like it. You remember when all that stuff was happening back in 2017, like the Time's Up movement, the Me Too movement, the one where Harvey Weinstein was, you know, evicted from Hollywood and a professional career forever because he was, you know, sexually harassing women. And ever since then, everyone's been really on everyone's case about being a little bit too predatory, men and women alike, probably for the best. Alright, let's flip the genders in this role. Let's say it's two men trying to get with one woman and over a bet over one, her money, or B, her body. That movie would be crucified today, and rightfully so, it should be crucified. Now let's take a look at it. The Hustle. Yeah, it's two women fighting over one man's body. This movie should be crucified for its premise. It felt way too predatory. When there's a scene where I felt like actually uncomfortable in being in the cinema and watching the film, where Anne Hathaway is pushing herself onto what is essentially just, you know, a new like 22-year-old boy and like man. Like it's a little bit, it comes across as a little bit predatory. It's nothing against Anne Hathaway. Nothing against her. It is against the film though for making me feel like this. It's a little bit predatory. Like I understand how that culture's been accepted for decades, and like, you know, from men's perspective to women, but that does not mean when we flip the gender roles, it should still be okay. It is not okay either way. Anne Hathaway, her accent is a little bit annoying. She is fine in this movie. She's not particularly fantastic. She is just fine. Rebel Wilson, fine. She doesn't really feel like she's doing, I mean, it feels like she's doing something a little bit different. Like she's obviously a smart character doing something, but it doesn't feel like her jokes are anything outside of what her regular shtick is. Montages in the film, they're fine. Some like things are just, you know, like physical exercises done in the montage that you see in the trailer. Not even relevant to the movie overall. There's no, from memory, there's no actual, you know, reason for them to be, you know, throwing knives and, you know, doing all sorts of physical activities like running and jumping. Like it doesn't really seem like there's never really given a reason in the film for it to be such, you know, physical exercise. And you know, this movie is just littered with problems. It was a really dull watch from beginning to end. It didn't really feel like it was anything outside of being generic. It felt like it took way too long to get to the actual plot. The characters I genuinely didn't connect with, and it did feel like left me feeling really uncomfortable leaving the film going, well, these came out of the Time's Up movement, so I guess I'm still not okay with it. So The Hustle, I will say burn it with fire. Have you seen The Hustle? What did you think of it? Let me know in the comments down below. Like the video if you enjoyed it, and subscribe to become another Platypus, and I'll catch you guys later. Bye. Well done, you made it to the end of the video. Why don't you click on one of these two videos for more content, or subscribe to just be reminded of when I upload. So, you know, subscribe. That'd be great.